Obviously a costly night for your side, but a brave effort.
Yeah, to be quite honest, I can't remember an effort as brave as that. You know, you have a look at the stats in the first half. We should have been 20 behind, and we were, what was it, 4 or 6, whatever it was. But we could have been quite easily 20. So it was a really brave effort from our team tonight, and you know, I'm really proud of them. You know, we had 5, debutants making, for the Storm, but we had 2 guys who were actually playing their first NRL game, and those 2 guys, Wishy went on. Brand went off in 2 or 3 minutes, and Wishy played out the game, which I didn't expect him to do that when he first went on, and then I think Josh played 65, and young Alec, I think he got 55 out. He's never played a Queensland Cup game, let alone an NRL game. So to have what happened to us tonight, and first half there's a few other things went against us too. When you have a look at the penalty count, it was, very one-sided. So that'd be something that we'll need to have a look at. But like I say, yeah, really brave effort. Obviously, it's really disappointing for George and certainly Christian. He's had a few tough times now going Christian. You don't deserve that, but we'll back him all the way to get back. And but I can't. You feel so proud, and we should be so happy. We should be jumping out of our skins, but we feel so down for the 2 guys that have got them serious injuries.
Can you give us like an update? Does it look like those 2 season over, and then what's
I think so. Yeah, I think at the moment they're pretty sure that Christian's done his Achilles, torn his Achilles, and George has done his ACL. So.
And Brendan?
Looks like he's broken bone in his hand, so old chalky bone. So he it's obviously less severe. I'm not quite sure how long he'll be, but the other 2 will miss basically the season.
How much does that hurt you long term? It's round 1, and you've lost 2 guys like that.
Kills us, and we've still got some our ruck has sort of been decimated. Someone told me we'd be playing Alec in the first game of the year at the start of the pre-season. The kid that come from the Wynnum under-20s hadn't played an NRL, a Queensland Cup game. I would have said you're mad, but because of our situation, we've had to play him, and with all due respect, he went well above what was expected tonight.
Those 2 guys would obviously be quite distraught, Craig, looking like the season over already.
Yeah, obviously. Like I say, you know what to say to him. You can't say anything that's going to, especially more so Christian, I suppose. And he's missed 2 full years with ACLs. So it's really tough on him. And it was near the end of the game. There was only about 3 minutes to go, and there was no one around him. There was just sort of looked like he was sort of backing up a bit to the try line, and then all of a sudden it must have went. So it's like I say, you don't know what to say to him. But anyway, as I said, we'll support them all we can.
Is there any concern about the pitch, Craig? Like, they were random injuries, no one around them. There's 3 games here tomorrow as well. It didn't look the best.
Yeah, the coaches up in the box. But no one from the Tigers got hurt. So I'd imagine it's just bad luck. Yeah. So I wouldn't go that far. At the end of the day, I don't know, but I wouldn't go that far if there was no one in the opposition that happened to. So you think it'd go both ways.
What about the guy next year? How important was he in the crucial moments to pull that out of the fire?
No, he's been playing reasonable footy for a couple of years now. So not that we expect that of him to pull out of the fire, but that was obviously the big play for us, tonight. What he done, but he's taken on a lot more responsibility, in the team. He probably did last year, but even this year he stepped up even more, and we're just seeing that maturity in his game. He's been able to string a whole heap of games together for us, the last 2 or 3 years, or 3 or 4 years, and I can't remember why we actually moved him to halfback at the time. He's always a fullback, but I'm glad we did. I wouldn't swap him for anyone in the game at the moment.
Jerome, how much do you put that on yourself at those times of the game to go looking for it and be the difference maker?
A little bit now. Like Craig said, I'm trying to, my responsibility in the team's moving up a bit. So, especially with the young guys we had in our spine as well, like obviously losing Cheese early hurt. Young Wishy coming, his debut. Means hasn't played much in the halves. So we try to keep their job simple, and me and Pep sort of put on ourselves to sort of step up a bit in that spine and, try to take over a little bit. So, we probably didn't play the way we wanted to play. But like Craig said, proud of the boys for the fight they put in, and to obviously get the win.
Craig, you worried about Trent? I think he was involved with a cannonball tackle there in the first half.
No, well, I didn't see it closely, but I thought he was still moving. The guys, I know if they're standing up and they're not moving, you can't go in and do that. I thought he was still moving. I might be wrong. I might be proven wrong there. Like I say, I ain't sort of seen it, and then that was it. I'd like to think he hasn't done that, but like I said, I thought he was still at his legs driving, but as I said, I might be wrong.
Jerome, I know we asked Craig about the turf and whether he thought that might have had an impact on the injuries, but how did it seem to you out there?
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, I'm a bit muffled.
Yeah.
How did the field seem to you out there? Like, did it seem... I don't know the word, but did it seem right?
Oh, the ground.
Yeah,
I didn't think it was too bad. I think it was quite unlucky, I guess.
Yeah.
Like Craig said, it wasn't... No one from their team got injured, so... I think it's just one of those things where it's really unlucky. Obviously, I think Sydney's had some bad weather lately, so that probably didn't help either. But I thought I don't know if the field's much to do with it. I think it's just really unlucky for the boys.
Reinforcements back next week, Craig. All those boys sweet to go.
Yeah, I think so. Like with Jess, it's a COVID thing, and like you think, we get these 4 guys back next week, but you don't know what's going to happen with COVID. So we like to think he's going to be back. Obviously, Harry and Louis and Munster have finished their suspension, so we like to think we're going to have all those guys back. So we've got a really short turnaround, so it's going to be handy to have some fresh blood to go, especially, I suppose, some fresh blood like that. There's a fair bit of talent, in that little group as well. So it'd be nice to have those guys back there. They've been training really well actually. So Munster's a new man, so took him a little while to work it, to work that out, but he is, and he's been training the house down. Harry's, he's always one of our fittest players, so and Jess has had a big pre-season too. So so with them 3 and Louis, so hopefully they'll be all right to go, and we can scrape up a team to play on Thursday night.
Next week's next week, but how excited are you to see Money back?
Say again, sorry?
Next week's next week, but how excited are you to see Cameron back next Thursday? Just from what you've seen over the summer. Everyone you talk to is...
I'm not that excited about putting up with him during the week, but I'll be glad to see him back on Thursday night, if I can answer that way.
Craig, just...
Well, maybe it's the last one.
Sure, thanks, Paul. Just getting off the topic, there's a report floating around tonight that Tarek Sims could be on his way to Melbourne. Can you give us the scoop? Is Tarek Sims heading down to Melbourne?
Not at the moment, no.
Interest there, though?
We'll have a bit of interest in a few players. We've lost players, and like I say, with Tui suspended, we're not quite sure when he's going to be coming back. So we're like I say, we're not scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we're getting towards that, and like I say, I was really confident in Alec tonight being able to put the effort in. So that's an example, but I know how fit he is, and that's the strength of his game. But I'm not quite sure we've got any more Alex left. So like I say, we're going to probably have to pull 2 or 3 players into the squad if the 2 tonight are as serious as our medical team think they are. wouldn't say they're 100%, but they're about 95%. So, I think we're going to have to find some extra players from somewhere.